What's going on, guys? Hu Tao was officially released on Tuesday, and I wanted to share my initial thoughts on this character. I know, I'm late to the party. First off, if you've already pulled for Hu Tao and got her, congratulations. And if you pulled for her and did not get her, or are on the fence, although it hurts, I personally do not think this character is a must-pull unit for everyone, and will explain why in this video. I've saved for only 2 characters in this game so far, with Hu Tao being one, and I absolutely love her character and playstyle. I'm more than impressed with their damage output and do not regret for a second pulling for this character. If you're still on the fence, or continuing to summon on the banner until the release of patch 1.4, I hope this video can help you make a better decision. I don't think you can go wrong summoning for this character, but as a free-to-play or low spender, you should be careful with resources and only summon characters you really want or need. In this video, I wanted to get some of my thoughts not only on Hu Tao out, but also on the future of Genshin, as it is a bit uncertain at this time what characters are coming. And I'm also thinking about what to do with the resources I have, or what resources to save moving forward. Also, if you guys are interested, because I made a whole weapon banner video, you can see my summons at the end of this video. I'll throw a timestamp in the pinned comments so you can watch me suffer. When Genshin released, we had a pretty good idea of a lot of the characters coming into the game, which made it a lot easier to plan and savor the characters you really wanted. At this point, we can expect miHoYo to do reruns of some of the previously featured characters and possibly feature more standard banner units like Kaching. The patch 1.4 livestream is tomorrow, and we expect to get an announcement of the new 4-star Rosaria, a Venti rerun, and a standard banner unit. Venti is one of, if not the best units in the game, and a lot of people did not have the chance to get him when his banner was out. Other than that, the future character releases and timelines have been kept pretty secret. There have been rumors that the Dendro element may be coming to the game in the near future, and we know that we can expect Ayaka sometime around the Inazuma release. We have no confirmation of either of these at this time. Because of this, if you're free to play and not sure whether or not to summon, I'd strongly encourage you to look at what your account really needs. There may be a character in patch 1.4, 1.5, or 1.6 that is a must-have for you, or that would be more beneficial to your account as a whole than Hu Tao. If you love Hu Tao as a character and have not gotten her yet, there's nothing I'm going to say in this video that should change your mind. I've been saving for Hu Tao since the Ganyu banner went live because I'm a huge fan of her design. I 100% believe that you should go for characters that you like and have fun with. While I really enjoy playing her, I do not believe there is anything groundbreaking in her kit that you're missing out on, like some other heroes like Venti, Zhongli, and possibly Ganyu. While she definitely has DPS that does not disappoint, it is not quite as groundbreaking as Ganyu in my opinion, and not having her will not prevent you from clearing content in the game, provided you have a couple other main DPS characters leveled and invested in. With that being said, honestly, this character is way more fun than I expected her to be, and I pretty much love everything about her. All 4 of the current polearm users have unique normal attack animations, which is a great choice by miHoYo in my opinion. Hu Tao is no exception. While her charge attack is similar to Xiangling, her normal attacks are definitely different. Overall, I really like how she plays, and just find the fast attack style of polearms to be very satisfying. Because of how Hu Tao's kit works, you know that she needs to do almost all of her damage while her elemental skill is off cooldown because she gains an attack boost as a portion of her max HP while her skill is active. And with her extremely low base attack, her physical damage is less than impressive. Her elemental skill lasts 9 seconds with a 15-second cooldown that starts when her skill is activated. This means that she does almost no damage when she is waiting the 6 seconds for her cooldown to expire. I personally really like having the opportunity to rotate in other characters, but her playstyle is more unique than other characters, and you have to determine if this is right for you. Much like how Klee's ultimate ends when she switches out, so does Hu Tao's E. This requires you to be more strategic when swapping characters, and requires a slightly higher skill cap than for other bruiser characters. I dropped Klee for Diluc because the skill cap to play Klee is so much higher than Diluc, but Hu Tao feels like a good balance between the two, remaining fun to play while requiring some thought and strategy. Klee also suffers from relatively low HP and difficult dodge mechanics. Because Hu Tao scales off HP, her base HP is extremely high, and her kit benefits from adding HP artifact main stats and substats. At level 90 with an HP Sans, and HP in the majority of my artifact substats, my Hu Tao has 32,000 HP, which surpasses all of my other characters by a large amount. Hu Tao gains 33% pyro damage when her health is below 50%, and additional burst damage as well. If you're lucky enough to have pulled the Staff of Homa, then this is even more relevant. Her inherently high HP makes her not only an excellent damage dealer, but one that can be tanky at the extent of some damage output is needed by keeping her health above 50%. If she is shielded, she'll destroy the current floor 12 of the Spiral Abyss. Additionally, her ultimate provides healing based on a percentage of her max HP and the number of enemies it comes into contact with. So although she is a character that benefits from low HP, even at 50% health she can still have nearly 20k HP and be on par with other DPS units, and has the ability to heal herself on a 15-second cooldown. Her playstyle for maximum DPS is definitely a bit risky, and I'm still getting used to not swapping from her when her skill is active. With most characters, their elemental skill is something you typically spam and then swap out, and with Hu Tao, you really need to stay on the field to not miss out on a lot of DPS output. Other characters like Klee, Razor, and Xiao work like this during their elemental burst, but the majority of characters don't with their elemental skill, so this is just something to get used to. I recorded my Abyss run, which I did right after pulling her and leveling her up. I definitely struggled getting used to this new playstyle and missed out on some DPS output. Because her elemental skill depletes her health by 30% of her current HP, when continuously activating this skill, you can drop your HP to fairly low levels. With all my other characters, if I notice their health is at 25% or below, it is just habit to switch this character off the field. This is another adjustment I'm learning to make with Hu Tao. With her weaknesses out of the way and potential reasons why Hu Tao may not be a good fit for you, what are her strengths? Being Pyro, Hu Tao has access to the strongest reactions in the game. On top of this, she is a melee character that can utilize Xingqiu's rain swords to continuously proc the Vaporize reaction. In my opinion, Ganyu was almost a must-pull unit because her damage output outscaled all other DPS units in the game by a significant amount. While I don't think Hu Tao is quite on her level without relying on reactions, she's definitely up there, and her playstyle is personally a lot more fun to me than Ganyu's. Don't get me wrong, Ganyu is still my favorite character in the game. So let's look at her damage potential with a friendly build for the average player. First, let's take a look at my current Hu Tao build. I farmed for Hu Tao's artifacts for approximately 2 weeks without doing any resin refreshes. I also stole Diluc's Goblet to complete my build and farm one that suited his stats better. I'm currently running a 4-piece Crimson Witch set with HP Sands, Pyro Damage Bonus Goblet, and Crit Damage Circlet. I prioritized crit rate, HP, and crit damage in my substats in that order. Because she is inherently so much crit damage, I felt like I needed to get her crit rate higher than I would for some other characters. She's currently sitting at 32,000 HP, 1,152 attack, 71% crit rate, and 193% crit damage. I'd like to get a bit more crit damage in the future, but for the short time that I farm for artifacts, I'm very happy with these stats. I had a much easier time getting her artifacts than for almost any other characters on my account. Without her E activated, when I crit, my normal attacks are hitting for around 1k. For a main DPS, this is actually quite on the low side. Her charge attacks do about 3k per hit, which is considerably better, but they do use stamina. Now with my E active, my normal attacks are hitting between 6k and 8k per critical hit, and my charge attacks are critting at 17k. This is very solid, as you can keep this up for a total of 9 seconds with no energy cost limiting the cooldown. Now this is with the 4-piece Crimson Witch set, and this set really shines with reactions. When performing a Vaporize reaction, my normal attacks are hitting between 10,000 and 12,000, with my charge attacks hitting at about 35,000. And my burst is doing 90k without any buffs from Bennett, Mona, the Noblesse set, or Viridescent set effects. This is pretty impressive, especially with the AoE nature of her burst. In the last clip, I showed my DPS window for the Cryo Regisvine. I'm not using any other buffs and only proccing Overload and Vaporize with Hu Tao, Xingqiu, and Beidou. Her DPS is pretty impressive even without a 5-star weapon. So I'd say that Hu Tao can easily out DPS Diluc even when she's performing elemental damage. Hu Tao does have more uptime on her elemental damage, but when her skill is on cooldown, you cannot get off much DPS to perform normal attacks. Diluc has the strength of being a significantly easier character to play, as well as wielding a claymore that has a lot of value in this game for breaking shields. So yes, Hu Tao is currently the strongest character on my account, even at C0 with a 4-star weapon. She definitely does require a higher skill cap than the majority of my other characters with their somewhat risky playstyle, so this does come with some downsides. Now with the current trend in main DPS units between Ganyu, Xiao, and Hu Tao, it does not seem like miHoYo will release characters that are not on par or exceeding their DPS output. They definitely outperform the standard banner characters in this game, and there will definitely be more to come in the future. Currently, the biggest weakness in my account is the lack of support units like Venti and Zhongli. In all honesty, it probably would have been better for my account for me to skip the Hu Tao banner and summon for Venti, who I will not be able to save up for in time. However, I play this game for fun, I like certain characters, waifus, and I've decided to summon for and build the characters I really like. It's important to always look at your own account for what you might need or really want, and not get wrapped into the hype of new characters. Every new character in this game is hyped for a few days, and then the hype dies down. I'll leave you guys with my weapon banner summon polls, since I made a whole video on it prior to summoning. Clearly, no Staff of Homa for me, but both weapons were a huge win for my account. If you guys watched to the end of this video, I truly do appreciate it, and we'll see you soon for the next one.